Today's live session, we're going to be talking about the elements that get in the way of progress. And those of you who've been following me for a while, you know I'm a fitness coach. And yes, these ideas and these tools can be used when it comes to you reaching your fitness goals. And yet I'm also a huge believer that in focusing on things like toning, weight loss, changing your body in some way as the goal is not necessarily the best way to relate to the body itself. And what I like to work on with my women is something a little bit different. So focusing on the relationship we have with ourselves, the relationship we have with our bodies, and the relationship we have with food. And so when we switch our focus to building a loving, healthy, understanding relationship with ourselves first, with our bodies secondly, and then with our food, then we'll get results as a byproduct. Not only will we get results as a byproduct, our bodies will feel so much better, our lives are in so much more balance, and we build a healthier relationship with our emotions as well. Okay, so what I'll be teaching you today can also be translated into all of those. Self-confidence, self-acceptance, love for self, you know, all of those magical elements. And what that allows us to do is to experience life in a much more free way, because when our body doesn't feel good, or when we're not happy about ourselves, when we can't deal with our emotions, then that can get in the way of us experiencing the beauty of the world outside of us. And so we experience our life through two filters. It's the perception of the mind, the filter of the mind, and the experience of the body. And my desire for you is that you get to understand that you can create the filter of your mind, and you can build an amazing relationship with your body and massively improve the experience of your body so that you get to enjoy the magic of life. That is my desire for you. So I was listening to one of my coaches this morning, and he was talking about some elements that get in the way of us reaching our goals. And I'd love to share them with you and add a little bit of my own understanding of them as well. For those of you who are new to following me, my name's Rachel, hello. I've been working in the fitness industry 12 years now full time, and I've been in the fitness world for 20 years. And I work as a body confidence and self-confidence coach. And I also teach yoga, personal training, I work as a massage therapist. And so I'm very grateful to have had many years of not just working with the body and understanding it in many ways, but working with the mind and seeing how the mind is what manifests the body. So the body is a manifestation of the mind. And I'm going to explain that a little bit nearer the end of our session today. So the four things that get in the way of us reaching our goals. Often we think that the things that get in our way are that you don't have time, that you're not good at it, that you don't have the money, that you're going to make a fool of yourself, that it's going to be too hard. So often these are the things that we think get in the way of us achieving the goals that we have in our lives. Hello, Diane, welcome. And the truth is that there is something behind those thoughts. And these thoughts are the rational mind, in inverted commas, finding reasons why not to do something differently. So the first is, when we don't value something enough, we don't prioritize it. So when we don't, let's talk about our emotional well-being. When we don't realize that valuing our emotional well-being and making it important, so putting it at the top of our priority list, can actually have a huge impact on everything in our lives, we won't invest the time, the effort, maybe the finances to get a coach or a teacher to actually make that change happen. So we don't value it enough. And that leads into the second, is importance. So often we don't realize that we have a priority list, and our priority list is the order in which we do things in our lives. So whatever is at the top of your priority list, that is the thing that you will give the most amount of time, effort, maybe monetary investment too. So you can begin to assess your list of priorities by looking at where you invest your time and your effort. Yeah. Often we have things on our priority list that we don't even realize are there. And when we consider it, we think, is that really a priority? Is that truly above my happiness and my well-being? Hello, Lara, welcome. Is that truly above that? So I invite you to have a little look at where you invest the most amount of time, effort, and money. And begin to ask yourself, is this what gives you true happiness? Is this what is taking you towards the life that you desire for yourself? And the reason that I ask this is because so many times we will put something on our priority list without realizing, and we put it above our happiness and well-being. So let's give an example. Maybe you spend more time cleaning your house, investing in your house and in your car than you do your body. Maybe you don't consider spending time on looking after your body as being important. But then if we look at the fact that the quality of your life experience, so the perception of your mind, the filter of your mind, and the experience of your body has a huge impact on everything you experience in your life. So whether you get to enjoy your nice house, nice clean house, and your nice clean car is massively dependent on whether you are happy. And so putting your happiness at the bottom of your priority list, or really low down on your priority list, so you're not giving it time, you're not putting effort in there, means that everything else above that is affected. And one of the things I teach my women on my courses is to put your happiness and well-being at the top of your list. And that this is not selfish, it's selfless. Because everybody in your life is impacted by how you feel as well. You are a mirror to them for them to understand whether they have the right or not to invest in their happiness. And also the quality of the relationships you have in your life are massively influenced by whether you are giving from a full cup or an empty cup. Whether you feel at one with yourself or not. Whether you feel that somebody else needs to give you the love that you don't feel for yourself. And so you're actually taking from them because you feel that scarcity within you. So inner wealth is so empowering because then you get to give from a full cup of believing in yourself, honoring your needs, and then you get to show those around you that they have the right to do that for themselves as well. So the third thing that gets in the way is beliefs. When you believe that something is possible for yourself, you are much more likely to go out and do the thing or things that are necessary to make it happen. When you do not believe it's possible for yourself, or that you are capable of doing it, the likelihood of you going out and doing the thing is much more reduced. And this is why when we're in a fitness journey, for example, so many people give up when they're not seeing results on the outer surface. You can't necessarily see what's going on inside. But when you don't get to see the reduction of the waistline or the toning of the part of the body you've been working, think it's not working. I'm not good at it. The belief tells you you're not good, so you stop doing it. And so many people in the journey of fitness will stop before they see the profound results because they don't believe it will happen for them and they give up. And I completely understand. But when we switch the association of our health journey to being that we are building a relationship with ourselves that lasts for the rest of our lives, with our bodies, with food, so that we get to enjoy our lives in a vessel, i.e. your body, that is in optimal state. And a byproduct is you get to look amazing because you feel good on the inside. And the fact that you love and respect your body means that you will make choices that are in alignment with that, rather than forcing yourself to eat the salad when you don't want to eat the salad. Yeah? And then the fourth is fear of failure. So when we are afraid to fail, often we don't even start. I'm not going to be good at it. I'm going to make a fool of myself. People are going to laugh at me. It's going to go badly. So fear of failure will stop us. Once we realize that anything we do for the first time, or anything we do for the first time in a long time, it requires more effort. So think back to when you learned to drive. Or maybe you're trying to do a handstand or a squat or a plank. Maybe you're learning a new skill. At the beginning, it's challenging because you don't have the neural network in place for that to be easy. That takes a period of time. And so rather than needing to be perfect, this isn't something we learn as adults. When we're kids, we don't worry about being perfect. We just try this, try that. We watch people, we're inspired by others, we ask questions, we get curious. We don't expect to be able to do something perfectly the first time. And yet when we're adults, we lose that. We lose the magic, we lose the curiosity. We just want to be able to do it now without having to put in the effort to learn how to do something. So I invite you to let go of that need for it to be perfect and enjoy each step along the road. So let's say you're learning to do a plank or a handstand. Allow yourself to enjoy the journey and play, become curious, let go of it needing to be perfect. The same in a fitness journey, the same in a self-confidence journey. Let go of it needing to be perfect. And I'd like to add something, a fifth element onto the list. It's when we are not clear on what it is we desire in our lives. Clarity, what is it you actually want? What do you want for yourself? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Do you sit down to consider it? This is one of the things that I'm working on with the ladies in my course. So we're on day 3 now, and real magic is happening. One of the ladies in the group just shared something really profound, that by day 3, she's already made a huge decision in her life. And it's all to do with belief. And it's about clarity on what it is you want. She's put her well-being at the top of her priority list. And when you realize that that's actually okay, and not only is it okay that it fills you with joy, you desire to do it more. And this is what she's done for herself. And this fifth element is becoming clear on what it is you want. What do you desire in your life? And this is what we're doing in the course at the minute, bringing clarity to what we desire to manifest so that we can begin to bring it into our reality. I'm going to give you an example of, I've got his name here, the first man to ever run the 4-minute mile. Roger Bannister, that's it. So Roger Bannister was the first man to run the 4-minute mile. Before he did that, there was a belief that if you ran a mile in under 4 minutes, the heart would explode and you'd die. And so people were afraid to even run, never mind doing it in 4 minutes. And so people didn't even consider that was possible. There was not the belief there, and therefore they wouldn't even try to go there. So what Roger Bannister did, hello Sandra darling, welcome. So what Roger Bannister did was he began to visualize himself crossing over the finish line of the mile, and it's saying on the clock 3 minutes 59 seconds. So he had clarity on what it is he wanted. He visualized it happening. He felt the physical and emotional changes in his body as he was visualizing it. He allowed himself to connect with that. Your body is a manifestation of your mind, and this is a very, very good example of that. So nobody had run the 4-minute mile before, or at least it hadn't been recorded. And he managed it. Obviously, he didn't just visualize, he then trained to be physically prepared for it. But his mind allowed his body to become capable of completing it in that time and to be the first recorded man to complete the 4-minute mile. And then after that, there were so many people then completing the 4-minute mile because they realized it was possible. They began to believe, and then belief led them to making it a reality, to manifesting that into reality. So what would I like you to take away from this, apart from your list of 5 things that I invite you to write down, is that we are inspired by stories. We are inspired by other people's stories. And one of the things that one of my coaches, Tom Bilyeu, I think he's absolutely fantastic. I've followed him for years. He talks about how it can be dangerous for us to put people on a pedestal. I love the number of P's in that. Put people on a pedestal. And we have a tendency to do this, and I see myself doing it as well. And what I mean is that when we see somebody achieve something great that we have not yet achieved in our lives, we put them on a pedestal, and by doing so, we believe it is not possible for ourselves to do what they have done, so we don't even try. As Tom says, we let ourselves off the hook. So we don't even try to achieve what they've achieved because we put them on a pedestal and we think, they're great. There's something special and magical about them. I can't do it because I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources, I'm not capable, I'm not enough, I'm not this, I'm da 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 da. All of the things that the rational mind, the logical mind likes to conjure up to stop us from progressing, evolving, expanding. So it is beautiful to connect with the stories of the people that we look up to. When you see somebody achieving something great, connect with their story. What is behind it? And this is why I'm so open with sharing my own story. What it has taken for me to overcome anorexia, low self-esteem, depression, poor body confidence, a sugar addiction. What did I do to overcome those, to step into perceiving and believing myself as a naturally healthy, happy, fit, joyful, abundant person? Not to just think it in my mind, but to embody it and perceive myself as it. And this is why I share my story so often, is so that you can see what goes on behind the scenes, so you can realize and believe that it's possible for yourself as well. And I'd like to leave you with one thought. Often it is having the knowledge of something in your mind and not going through the process of it being in the mind to embodying it and to perceiving it as truth. So translating it into a belief and a perception of this being truth and reality. That is where there is the incongruence. So often we think we're thinking something, thinking something, we desire it, and yet we don't seem to be able to manifest it in our lives. And it's because it requires it to go from a mental understanding, so maybe it's secondhand knowledge we've learned from another, from a mental understanding, repeating it enough that it becomes embodied within us, and life experiences happen, and we allow ourselves to be present in those life experiences, present with our experience, with our thoughts, with our emotions. So we get to realize our limiting beliefs. So in that moment, we can let go of those limiting beliefs. When we learn something mentally, and then we practice what presence is, we practice the mental tools, emotional management, the embodying and the integration of our emotions. When we practice these and we allow ourselves to be fully present in life situations, especially the most challenging, then we are capable in that moment of transforming a belief in seconds, releasing a limiting belief, realizing that the belief is there and letting it go and transforming. And it is when that happens that we begin to perceive ourselves as what we desire to be. And it's only then that we act and think and live as that person. So I'm going to leave you with that today. I will see you soon. I love you guys. Mwah.